Raleigh is constantly...
Wait,
What?
I just made a terrible face.
What is happening out there? So the crime rate's low because the greenways are endless.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's going to ruin it.
You know, you decide something. I'm just rambling. Raleigh is constantly ranking in every best cities to move to list in the country. From the job market to the greenways, the mild seasons, and the improved quality of life for young professionals, all the way to retirees, there really is something for everyone right here.
But here is the thing. If you don't truly understand the different areas that make up the triangle and which one actually suits your family's lifestyle, you might find yourself regretting your move by this time next year.
Hey everyone, I'm Becky Durant here with Sam Coe. I moved to the Raleigh area from Central Florida 18 years ago, and we've been helping guide families home for over 10 years now, right, Sam? Almost 11.
Mm-hmm.
And we've helped hundreds of people move to and around all of the areas we're covering today.
I am a Wilmington, North Carolina native, and I've been in the Raleigh area since my college days at NC State. And I've seen the old Raleigh and the new triangle and what it's becoming. And today we're going to strip away the marketing. We're breaking down the real pros and cons of Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, and the major suburbs like Cary, Apex, Wake Forest, and beyond, so you know what to expect when you visit or decide to move here.
Yeah.
So let's start with the heart of it all, downtown Raleigh. And I think the pro here is it finally feels like a big-ish metro city, including dining, festivals, and a pretty solid nightlife. It's also one of the few places you can take up residency and walk to pretty much anything you need. It's definitely the it place for energy around here. The con is it is a perpetual construction zone, and it has been for the last decade. And also, if you want a yard for a dog or your kids, you're looking at a $900,000 plus historic bungalow that likely needs a full renovation, and you're going to need approval by the city of Raleigh to make any changes.
True. Beautiful possibilities in historic Oakwood, but potential often means blank checks, and Sam, we can't all swing that. So let's shift gears a bit and talk about another part of Raleigh, North Hills. Now, the pro of North Hills is it's midtown, which means it's super convenient. You can walk from your luxury apartment to a high-end steakhouse, a Target, and a movie theater, as well as tons of higher-end shops, jewelry stores, and even a couple of gyms, and they're all within just a few blocks from each other. It's safe, it's polished, and it's very resort style. The con of North Hills or Midtown is that it lacks that old North Carolina soul. It's essentially a massive high-end outdoor mall that you live in. And if you hate traffic, the North Hills exit on 440 is really a special kind of trauma during rush hour. And if you want to buy an affordable home in North Raleigh, you're still going to need a pretty hefty renovation budget or be okay with an older split-level home.
And being from the coast of our beautiful state of North Carolina, I love some character, and Durham is definitely where you'll find some of that. And one of the big pros in Durham is the food and the vibe. It's the most diverse and artistic city here in the Triangle. The American Tobacco campus is absolutely stunning, and the Durham Bulls games are legendary. Durham really feels authentic and a little bit edgy with a lot of soul. The con is you're in the Durham bubble. People there tend to stay there. Also, safety is still a block-by-block conversation. You really need a local to guide you on which neighborhoods are established and which are still kind of in transition in that area.
Okay, then you have Chapel Hill. Now, the pros of Chapel Hill include the schools and the backdrop. The Chapel Hill Carborough City School District is world-class. And the town itself is very leafy, academic, and it feels very prestigious. It's the closest thing to historic Carolina that you'll find around here. Its real estate architect is full of mid-century moderns on sprawling hills, which is very unique and sophisticated, and that embodies the character of Chapel Hill as a whole. Now, the cons of Chapel Hill as well is the price tag. Property taxes in Orange County will really make your eyes water compared to Wake or Johnson County. It's also pretty built out already, so finding a new construction home is like finding a needle in a haystack unless you go a little further north into Hillsborough. Let's move on to Cary and Apex. These towns truly represent the suburbia gold standard right here in our area. Cary is very functional, established, and heavily amenity driven. The new downtown Cary Park also is a 10 out of 10. The greenways in Cary are endless, and the crime rate is incredibly low, which obviously is important to people. This is the most popular suburb of Raleigh that outsiders, meaning people that, aren't from North Carolina or the Raleigh area, have actually heard of and want to move to. The con of Cary is going to be, the price tag a little bit too, because it's gone up over the last decade, but also the HOAs and town restrictions. The town is going to tell you what color your mulch has to be, and make sure you submit an architectural request to plant a new bush in your own front yard a lot of times. And I'm not even kidding. That's really become a problem. Predictability is the name of the game here, which is great for some and a bit dull for others. And also there's not much, if any, of a nightlife scene here.
Yeah.
When would you say things close? Around 6?
Maybe 8 p.m.
Okay, 8 p.m.
There's no nightlife. Let's just be real. All right, let's talk about Apex right next door. It is truly the peak of good living. The pros in Apex, it has a much cooler, more historic downtown than Cary. It really feels like a movie set. And Apex itself has landed on the top places to live lists many times over, like all the time.
Yeah.
The con here is the infrastructure, y'all. They're building thousands of homes. The roads are still 2 lanes in many spots. Your couple-mile drive to the grocery store might take you 20 minutes sometimes. It can be tough. Okay, let's transition up to Wake Forest. Wake Forest is a bit unusual from the rest of the cities that we're going to discuss today. It's kind of its own world up there. Yeah, and people who choose to live in Wake Forest absolutely love it. Locals who don't live there often feel like it's an island that is too far from everything else. The pro in Wake Forest, you get these rolling hills and massive oak trees. It feels like its own separate town, not just a suburb of Raleigh. And the historic district is one of the prettiest in the state, I would say. Cons of Wake Forest, the commute. Capitol Boulevard or US 1 is the only way in and out, and this road is a tough one to drive on. If you work in RTP, Research Triangle Park, that commute will test your patience every single day.
Yeah, if you're even thinking about moving to Wake Forest, you need to drive on Capitol a couple times to see if
test it out.
It's going to ruin your life.
Move to Wake Forest if you work remote. That's the good compromise.
Okay, let's move over to Holly Springs now. Holly Springs is a smaller suburb that has completely exploded over the last 15 years and really over the last decade. The pro of Holly Springs is that it's a big biotech powerhouse now. It's very wealthy, relatively new, and has incredible youth sports programs and good schools. This is a very community-centric area, so it's a great place for families and new residents to move to if you're looking to have a neighborhood social scene or just looking to meet people in the area.
Yeah.
Lots of master plan communities with really great amenities. The con, as a result of the money feeding into Holly Springs, it's getting a lot less affordable, much like all of these other towns we're talking about thus far. And even though 540 helps connect Holly Springs to everywhere else, you're still a pretty good ways away from the action of Raleigh or Durham.
Okay, let's talk about Fuquay Varina, where I live and work and play. Fuquay is where you go to get more house for your money while still having 2 cute and very quaint downtowns with great breweries. Fuquay has a great social scene as well, I would say, and the only place on this list that really still focuses on bringing in more independent, like non-chain restaurants and boutiques, retail stuff to our town.
Yeah, with the exception of the new Target.
And that's true. We did get a Target.
It's good to have a Target.
Pretty great. The con here is the Fuquay commute. You are at the bottom of the map, and if you work in North Raleigh, you're looking at an hour each way. However, the commute to RTP area has just gotten significantly easier with the opening of the 540 loop, connecting Fuquay to really the rest of the Triangle area. And they're finishing up the last leg of that now. It will go all the way around.
Yeah, we're big fans of 540.
Yeah.
Okay, finally, let's break down Clayton over in Johnson County. Now, the pro of Clayton is definitely the affordability factor. You can still get an acre or half acre of land for the price of a townhome in Cary. And the downtown is actually becoming quite the destination for dining lately, and it has a ton of potential for future resale value. The con is that it's also the most rural on our list. If you want to be able to walk to a coffee shop or park from your house, Clayton probably isn't it unless you live right on Main Street near downtown. Y'all, we've helped hundreds of people make this move over the last 11 years. The biggest mistake we see is people choosing a house they love in a location that doesn't fit their life. That's why we always recommend doing a drive-through at the very least of each downtown to get a feel for the vibe and the people who make up the town you're considering moving to.
And look, we don't want you to be the person who moves here and realizes 6 months later that you hate your commute, or you hate the neighborhood that doesn't have the amenities or the social scene you were hoping for your family. It's just important to do your research and not just focus on the house itself.
Yeah, and we're here to help. I mean, let us do some of that research for you. If you're thinking about moving to any of these areas, reach out. We'd love to help guide you home.
Hit that subscribe button for more unfiltered looks at the triangle, and we'll see you on the next video. Ooh.